your editing feels a little slow, it's probably not your computer. It's these 5 mistakes. You fix these and you'll be editing faster today. Mistake number 1, you are clicking everything. If you are doing this, you're clicking the razor, then you're clicking where you want to make your cuts, and then you're clicking the arrow, clicking a clip, right-clicking, delete selected, then you're grabbing your clips, moving it over. You are wasting a ton of time. You need to be using some keyboard shortcuts. Here's just a few of the keyboard shortcuts that you should be using. The J, K, and L keys are going to help you navigate around your timeline. L is going to go forward. Double click, it's going to go forward even faster. K is going to stop it. J is going to go backwards. If you press it multiple times, you go backwards even faster. And if you hold the letter K and press either J or L, you're going to go forwards frame by frame for L and backwards frame by frame with K. Cut key, which for me I remapped to S, and then the cut and ripple delete keys. So if I come ahead, I'm going to press my Q key, which I've remapped. It's going to make a cut and get rid of the gap. And if I wanted it to go the other way, I've remapped the W key. You can see the default on the screen here. It's going to make a cut and ripple delete the other way. Control Z is one that you'll use all the time to undo. If you are trying out different clips in a spot on your timeline, the letter D comes in super handy because it's going to enable or disable a clip for you. Another keyboard shortcut that comes in really handy is the paste attributes. So you would just come to one clip, and if you want to copy those attributes, select the clip, Command or Control C to copy it, go to your new clip, and use Option on a Mac or Alt on a PC and the letter V, and that's going to bring up all these different attributes that you can paste from one clip to the next. In this case, I want to do what's selected. I'm going to hit Apply, and now this clip matches the previous clip that we copied from. Easy to copy and paste attributes. Saves a ton of time. Mistake number 2 here is that you rebuild everything in every project. You're not using the tools available to you in Resolve here, like presets, power grades, and power bins. In the media pool here, you can have your power bins, which allow you to put things in that power bin, and they will be available in every single project. If you don't see your power bins right here, come to the 3 little dots and make sure power bins is turned on here. You can see I've got power bins for all kinds of music, sound effects, different brand assets. I even have some zoom in and zoom out, some talking head zooms, so I don't have to make them over and over again. I've got overlays for all kinds of different things. Different types of text effects that I like, even a couple things from my class that I like to include in some of my videos. And these will appear in every single project. The next big one is power grades. If you film in a similar environment or you've got a color grade that you like and you want to keep it, but you don't want to recreate it every single project, here's what you do. You jump over into the color tab and you want to open up your gallery. And if you don't see these over here, we have stills, power grades, and timelines. You want to click on this little icon right here, and power grades are going to be available to you in every single project. And it's as easy as clicking the one that you want and dropping it right onto your image. And how do you create that power grade? Simple. Let's say I take this and I make a little adjustment. All you have to do is come to your image right here, right click, and say grab a still. And as long as you're selected on your power grade bin over here, it's going to put it right in there for you. If you were on stills right here, it's going to put it in this bin, and that's only going to be available in this project. So you want to make sure that you use power grades. Now, presets, I love me some presets, and in this case, we're talking audio presets. So jump over into Fairlight. We've got presets. Up here, if we go to the Fairlight menu, we go preset library, and in here we can make all kinds of audio presets from EQ, dynamic plugins, global track presets, global bus presets, as well as Fairlight configuration presets. And these are going to allow you to just apply your preset real quick. You can make a little tweaks and changes, and you get the base set for your audio or your dialogue, so that way you're good to go. For example, I've got a track preset here. I like this one, 2025 dialogue. I'm going to select my audio track, apply it, and here we go. It set my order for me, added a few effects that I like, adjusted my dynamics, my EQ, and now I'm all set to go. I can make little tweaks if I need to, but that's going to save a lot of time from having to add every single one of these things in every single project. So presets for audio are amazing. You got to use them. If you're not sure how, I've got a whole video on that. You can check it out. Mistake number 3 here is starting every project from scratch. You don't need to do that. You're wasting your time. In the Edit tab here, we're going to go to Project Settings, and we're going to go through here and set up all of the settings that you want for your project, including your timeline resolution, playback, frame rate, maybe your proxy media. I like to render the background cache after 1 second. Set all these up the way that you want. Then you're going to come to the 3-dot menu and come down to Save Current Settings as a preset. Once you've saved it as a preset, you can select any one of these and load it up. Let's say I'm going to go 2997 full project setup. I'm going to say load. And now if I want these to come up every single time I create a new project, you can just come back to the 3 dots here and say Set Current Settings as default preset, and then every time you start a new project here in Resolve, it's going to automatically have those settings for you. You don't even have to think about it. You don't have to worry about it. You could just start editing your project. Mistake number 4 I hear all the time is, I've got laggy playback. It's choppy, it's slow, it's not working good. Here's some tips on how you can fix that. So again, I'm in the Edit tab here. First thing I would try, I'd come up to the Playback menu, come down to Timeline Playback Resolution, and you've got full, half, and quarter. By default, it's on full. But if it's running a little bit slow for you, you can change to half, and you're barely going to notice a difference in your viewer here. It's just going to make it easier for Resolve to play back your video on your computer. The next thing you want to do is come down to Render Cache and select Smart. And this is going to tell Resolve render some things in the background anytime I stop moving my mouse. For me, I set that to 1 second. So I stop moving my mouse, wait 1 second, and then Resolve gets to work in the background. Timeline resolution is going to dramatically affect your playback. So if you are editing in a 4K or larger timeline, it's gonna make it a little bit harder to play back on your machine. Of course, unless you got a powerful machine. But what I recommend is edit in a 1080 timeline, and then you can just change it back to 4K or whatever resolution once you go to render that out. So that's what I do. I edit everything in a 1080 timeline, works out really well, and then I export it out in 4K. And if your playback still looks like this, you may need to use some proxies. And proxies are just files that DaVinci Resolve renders out and are just easier for your computer to playback. So once they get rendered out, you're good to go. You should have smooth playback. And here's how you do that. One way that you can do it in your media pool is to just right-click a clip, come down to Proxy Media, and right here you can generate proxy media. You could relink it or link full resolution media if you need to. Resolve also has something called optimized media, and essentially they're the same kind of thing. The difference is you can take proxies and move them somewhere else, give them to somebody else, and with the optimized media, you can't really do that. They're meant just to work in your version of DaVinci Resolve on your computer. You can't really grab the files and move them around. So I'd recommend going to proxy media, generate proxy media, and then it's going to go ahead and generate it based on the settings that you have set in your project settings. The other thing you want to check, come to the playback menu, proxy handling. You can either disable the proxies, prefer the proxies, or prefer the camera originals. If you're having playback issues, you probably want to prefer the proxies. And a quick note, you don't need to change any of this when you go to render it out. Resolve's automatically going to use the high-res files. So that was something I didn't know when I got started, and now you know. You don't have to change this back before you go and render it out. Mistake number 5 is this. If your timeline kind of looks like this with stuff all over the place, you're slowing yourself down. Try and keep all of your A-roll in one track. Now, it doesn't have to be on track number 1 here, but try and keep it all in one track. Then you can add your B-roll in the track above that, or any adjustment clips or things like that. When it comes to your audio, you want to keep your main audio all in one track so we can edit on a track level, not on a clip-by-clip basis. So I don't want to come in and edit every single one of these clips. I want to be able to work on one track, do everything once, and have it apply to all of the same audio. Now, yes, have multiple tracks for different kinds of audio, but keep similar audio in the same track so you can edit it once and you're good to go. You also want to label your tracks, right? If I hold my Shift key and middle mouse wheel, open it up a little bit, you can see right now it's audio 1, audio 2, audio 3, and on my video track, same thing, right? We just have video 1, 2, 3. So we want to label these, right? You want to call this maybe A-roll. We can call this one adjustments. Maybe this one we want to call B-roll. And for your audio, maybe you want to label it different microphones or different locations. You want to separate that out. So that way, when you look at a track, you know exactly what's in it, what it represents, and how you need to work with that particular track. It saves you a lot of time in the long run as you're working through your project. So if your editing is feeling a little slow, stop clicking everything. Stop rebuilding stuff every time you start a project. Use templates, presets, power grades, power bins. Fix your playback so that way you can watch through your project and clean up that timeline. Don't leave things a mess because it's just harder to find what you need, navigate around. Don't leave it a mess. All right, so now be honest, which one of these are you guilty of? I've been guilty of all of them at one time or another. Drop your comment down below with which one you're guilty of. If you want to know how to make your audio sound awesome, you might want to start with this video over here. Thanks for watching. I'll catch up with you later.